It was the first day at college. Benjamin was very happy to be able to go to this college, since this college were one of the few that he was considered to go to. When he applied for it and was accepted in, he was quite excited. When he told his family about it, they were really happy in themselves, since since Benjamin would be the first one in their family to be able to go to college. But another small detail when he explained to them that this college was located out of state, since he was from Arizona and this college was located in Ohio. This will be the very first time in his life that he will be away from his family for a long period of time. Even though he was really quite excited, but also mature enough and to be more independent and also ready to take it the next step into more to be as more adult life. And even though he will miss his family, but now these days he could communicate with his family by email, phone calls, or even FaceTiming. Even though when he went to the college with his parents and his younger sister Michaela, Michaela was still at the time in high school. They actually went with Benjamin to the college during the day before so that they can see how the facilities are right, like, and all that. But when he arrived to the college, he was very happy and quite nervous because this college was quite prestigious and had students from all across the United States, not only from his state, but also from locally and from other part of states. But when he was assigned to a room, he was told that he's going to have a roommate. So when he went to the room, he found a guy by the name Adam. Adam, when he was like, "Hi, my name is Benjamin. I'm going to be your roommate." "Hi, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you. I'm Adam." So Adam told Benjamin that he was actually from Oklahoma and from a small town, and that he was also the first one in his family to be able to go to college. Adam and Benjamin actually became very good friends fast. In fact, they had a lot of things in common. They liked to play video games and all that stuff. Adam was, when he mentioned it, when he was in high school, he was a little bit of a lazy type of person, but he took his studies quite serious. Benjamin was quite opposite. He loved to study, even though he didn't have any particular plan or he didn't have any particular well direction when he wanted to be in school, but he wanted to go something more. And when he was told, during his senior year of high school, that he had the potential to go to college, he was very happy. When he mentioned this to his parents, that they were really happy themselves. But during the first few weeks of college, he actually had a little bit of struggle to find some of the locations on the first, at least the first few days. He needed some help to find some of the classrooms that he needed to go to, but despite have been showing around earlier before this first classes started. But after about a couple of days or about a week, he actually managed to find all the locations. But after a couple of weeks, he actually had got a lot more friends at the college. Some had actually were from the East Coast and from the West Coast, and even some were actually from Hawaii, which to him was a little bit surprised that someone from one of the big islands in the Pacific Ocean decided to go to this particular college in the mainland of America. But he was happy to make friends of all over the states. But there was one particular girl that he was actually happy to know. Her name was Selena. She mentioned that she was from Florida, and she was actually had a roommate called Nicole. Nicole was actually Selena's roommate, also childhood friend. During the time when he started to know Selena, he started to feeling a little more attracted to her. But he wasn't sure if this was like romantic feelings or if it was just friendly feelings. But one evening when he and Adam were just playing games in their dorm room, like, "So, Benjamin, how is how's the college life for you? I bet you're Many of the girls are interested in you, asking you out or something like that. Well, not actually. Really? Said Adam. How come? Well, a few girls had asked me out, but I kind of said I was not interested in dating him, but there is actually someone I'm quite interested in. Oh, let me guess. Selena? Wait, how do you know that? Said Benjamin with a big surprise. Well, considering how you've been looking at her from time to time and how you how you're interacting with her, how you're blushing, and you seem to be quite nervous around her, and when someone talking about her, you seems a little bit more interested in the topic about her. Yeah, you had a point, but I just don't know how to approach her. Well, Adam was actually very much outgoing like Benjamin. But there was one small detail that Benjamin mentioned to Adam, is that the fact that he never had a girlfriend back in high school, or even middle school. In fact, he has never dated anyone before. So, I would probably have to tell you this, but Adam, I never actually dated before. And Adam was like, what? You never dated anyone before? That's hard to believe. I mean, a guy like you, 6 feet tall, brown hair, just how in the world is that possible you had never actually had a girlfriend before? Well, I was kind of a little bit shy and even I had not always been like this outgoing personality. Oh? Yeah, it was like in high school when I started to get more outgoing, but prior before then I was more introvert. Ah, I get it. What about you? Are you interested in anyone in the school? Not at the moment, said Adam with a big smile. But who knows? I mean, we're in the first year. It's possible that we find someone. Yeah, but you should probably ask Selena out. Yeah, but I just don't know how to pursue it in the first place. Benjamin, Benjamin, Benjamin. You will find a way, but you may have to figure out soon because I'm pretty sure that Selena had been often asked by guys, or, I mean, it's possible she may even find a boyfriend soon. I mean, she's cute, and I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that's true, but even so, I mean, she probably deserves a better guy than me. Adam paused the game and looked at Benjamin with a more serious look. Benjamin, what? Listen to me. If you really care so much about Selena, you really need to take the first step by asking her, or at least telling her how you feel about her. Benjamin took a deep breath and said, I just don't know how to approach a girl about that way, since I never done that before. Adam was actually quite happy to hear that, and said, look, if you need any help or the first step into pushing out to this, I can help you with that. Wait, you can? Adam said, yes, I can, because I had dated a few girls back in high school, and so I know at least a little bit of relationships and some ways to pursue it that way. But are you sure about it? I mean, I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable or make her laughing at her or something like that. Benjamin, listen to me. If you really like her so much, do you see her as a romantic way? Do you? Benjamin was quiet for only a few seconds, but when he said, yes, I do, then you have it. But you should probably do this soon enough. Yeah, I just don't know how though. Well, you will find out soon enough, said Adam, and unpaused the game and they continued. For the next couple of days, Benjamin actually thought of what Adam told him, that he should approach Selena about his feelings towards her. But at the moment, he just didn't know how. Since he had never been approached by a girl before, or he never actually approached a girl himself, or never actually dated anyone. He was just he just didn't know how to do it. So he decided to follow one of Adam's ideas, and but since he needed some more confident, so he decided to spend more time with Selena that he could to boost enough courage to be able to telling her how he felt. Even if it might take him a couple of days, couple of weeks, or maybe a month or so, he told himself, but I will be able to tell her. I need to have time and comfort. But he wasn't really sure exactly though. But after about they had been in college for nearly 4 months, Benjamin was actually ready enough to telling Selena how he felt about her. But when he was about to, so he knew where Selena usually spent time after between classes or after classes. So when he went to find her there at one of those usual spots, he saw that she was talking to a guy, and when he heard that he asking her out, he started crying a little bit and just turned around and just went back to his dorm room. Adam came back a little bit later after that and found him on the bed like, "Hey, Benjamin." But, dude, whoa, what's the matter? It's nothing. Adam sat down on his bed and looked at Benjamin like, "Listen, you can talk to me. I listen. What happened?" Adam, it's nothing. Benjamin, listen to yourself. If there's something the matter, you can talk to me. You know that. I was about confess my feelings for Selena, but then did you? What happened? You couldn't get the words out? No, I didn't get even the chance of telling her. What? What happened? Benjamin explained that when he found Selena, one of her favorite spots at the college, a guy around the same age, around this, he heard at her that he was asking her out on a date. Wow, but do you know if she said yes or no? But Benjamin shook his head and said, no, I don't. I left before that. Well, Benjamin, you may not. I don't care anymore. What? I will find someone else. And then Benjamin turned around in his bed and just looked at the wall and just was silent. Adam sat there on his bed for a while, but then he just stood up and just left the room and just went out to find something else to do. But only about maybe half an hour later, Adam came back and he saw that the Benjamin was still lying on the bed, and Benjamin saw that Adam had a big smile and he said, "Benjamin, yeah, I had some big news for you. I don't know up for it. You don't know the guy that asked Selena out? Yeah, don't mention it. He was rejected." Benjamin looked at him puzzled like, "What?" "Yep." Adam sat down his bed and said, "I actually walked up to Selena and asked about it." "You did what? How dare you? Are you trying to... No, I'm not interested in her in the same way, but I just want to make you find out if she said yes or no to this guy." "Oh, so she said no?" "Yeah. You know, you see, the reason why is because she is interested in someone else." "Who?" Benjamin asked, more surprised and curious. She didn't tell me exactly who it was, but it was someone that she had known now for about a while, and she's actually hoping that this guy would ask her out soon because She's very happy to talk to him, spend time with him. Did she give any hints who they could have been? Benjamin asked, while now sitting up and looking at his friend. Nope, not at all. But, but, but what? But given the hints that even though she never actually gave me direct hints, but it was somehow she was indicating about you. Me? Wait, are you sure about it? Pretty much. I didn't expect that. So, so what? Now what? Now what? Now you need to confess your feelings for her. I mean, it's only a matter of time before she will lose interest in you and just consider dating with someone else. Benjamin knew that Adam had a point. Selena wouldn't have been able to wait for eternity for his answer. Yeah, I just don't know how to do it. Adam, Benjamin, how about this? I will go with you to see Selena tomorrow after class. And I will be there, try to be you as your, how to say, morale booster. Morale booster? Benjamin laughed. Well, I mean give you more confident morale in to be confident enough to asking her. Yeah, let's do that. But the next day, around after the last class of the day, Adam and Benjamin went to one of the spots where Selena was actually waiting for them. But just only after a couple of minutes, Adam made an excuse that he needed to go. Hey, what a friend I have. Then Selena asked if they could sit down so they could talk. He agreed. At first, it was quite silence between them. And Adam and Benjamin broke the silence with saying, Selena, it is something I wanted to tell you. That you like me? How did you even know? I mean, it was quite obvious how you interact between me. Benjamin was quite surprised, but he was silent and then asked, Selena, would you be interested to go out with me? Selena smiled and said, yeah, I would like that. How about we go to the movies on Friday? I mean, if that's something that you want to go. She nodded and said that was like not that a bad idea. So after they had talked for about 20 minutes, Selena said that she had to go back to her dorm room, and Benjamin went back to his and found Adam laying on the bed just playing on his phone, and it's like, thanks for the morale booster, Adam. Hey, didn't work though? Yeah, it did. And so, did you ask her out yet? Yep, we have movies on Friday. Hey, did I didn't tell you that it wasn't gonna work? Yeah, but you left me so quite soon. I thought you was gonna stay with my side. Well, I didn't tell you I wouldn't stay there for long, did I? Um, no. And would you have said it otherwise if you were, even I was there with you? Um, I thought so, said Anna with a smile. But next time, please just tell me in advance if you're going to do something like that. You make me feel like a fool standing next to her. Well, it worked though, didn't it? Yeah, it did. So the next couple of days, Adam Benjamin interacted some as normal with their friends, along with Selena. Even when Benjamin interacted with Selena during the time before the first date, it was just unnormal responding to that. But on Friday, things actually seems to be a lot better, because they made plans to meet at the local movie theater around 5 p.m. for the first movie that they want to see. He met up her at the movie theaters around 5 p.m. that evening. He asked her what movie that she wanted to watch. She didn't know exactly first what movie, but she decided why not to see a comedy movie since it was something that most people liked to watch. He agreed. And they had such great time. They could barely stop even laughing when they saw the movie. Even afterwards, they were just laughing and talking about the movie, and on their way back to college, Benjamin asked Selena if she would have been interested to go out again. She smiled and said yeah, that she actually had such great time, so they decided to make some plans for next week. But by the next week, Benjamin had a small problem. He was low on money. So if he wanted to do something special with Selena on their second date, he wouldn't have been able to pay for that. And asking his parents for money for so much, it would be only affected at that. And be dependent on asking money from Adam all the time wouldn't be much as a good friend either. So Benjamin was considering to do a part-time job in order to pay for himself and earn some money. So, but there was just one small problem. He didn't know what type of part-time job that he would do. He asked Adam for any advice for what type of part-time job that he could do. And Adam suggested he go downstairs to the entrance where they had this board which could have some flyers of any potential part-time jobs. Benjamin thought that might actually be a good idea, so he went downstairs and he actually found a lot of flyers from dog watching to babysitting service, but none of the part-time jobs that he found on the flyers was not much an interest to him. When he went back, he encountered another classmate, and he asked this particular classmate if he had any ideas for what type of part-time jobs he was being considered at. This classmate suggested that he could perhaps do work as a pizza on a local pizzeria. They often hires part-time workers from college or high school. And Benjamin thought, why not? And he knew about at least one local pizzeria that was quite close to the college. So he went there, and when he mentioned that he do had a license for driving a car, but he didn't have his own car. But to surprise him, that this pizzeria actually had some of their own cars that they could provide it to the drivers. So Benjamin was actually hired on the spot. When he went back to his room and he mentioned to Adam, like, well, now you have a job as well. That might be able to help you with some at least the finances for for your future days with Selena. Yeah, that's something, said Benjamin. And when he mentioned this to Selena, she was actually happy to hear that now he has a part-time job so that he could provide himself with some money for his own things and for their future dates. She also mentioned that she was working a part-time job at a local bakery herself, and he was actually happy to hear that. She did mention that she wants to work as a baker, and working as a part-time as a bakery was actually a good step. So for the next several weeks, Benjamin was working at this pizzeria, driving around the town, delivering some pizzeria, and he'd get a lot of good tip. And the payment was, well, decent enough for him. So he had a lot of money, at least decent, well enough money for his future dates with Selena and himself for if he wanted to buy something at school or if he had to buy something that he needed. And after a while, he actually had a good time. He was always also keeping his family updated about his studies have been going so far and about his new relationship with Selena. his mother was actually very happy that he had found someone that he might be spending some time with. When when his mother did ask more about Selena, how she is as a person, how she looks like, they just happy to know how he treats her, and they were even happy to hear that he took a part-time job so that he could be able to provide for himself and even provide for his dates with Selena. And he was just happy to hear so much support from his family. Even his younger sister Michaela was really happy to hear that he had found someone. Even sometimes when since he never actually had any girlfriend before, when she often teased him like, how you never going to find anyone to be with? I'm just surprised that you never even been interested in dating anyone. Or are you never interested in girls at all? He even sometimes he made a little bit upset about these comments, but he knows that she was just only teasing him. But he was just happy to have such support from his family. Even when he found out about of Selena's family, that she was from Florida, and that she's also from a wealthy family, that her dad is a CEO from a shipping company, and that her mom is a pediatrician, a doctor. And he was actually a bit worried that her family would even support him, or at least support their relationship, or even accept him as her boyfriend. Because since he was from a working class family and that he was from an upper class or at least a wealthy family. But surprising enough, during one time when during a holiday break, her parents actually came up to see her in in Ohio at a college when she introduced them to Benjamin for the first time. He was really nervous how her family would react, especially her father, since he was the CEO of a company. But the big shocking, surprising enough, that he was very much accepted in the family as a potential future son-in-law. Even when he found out later from Selena that her parents were actually had not always been part of this wealthy family, since her father actually worked and he was working at a young age around from after right after high school to build his future dream hope of building a future company. It took him years and he managed to build his shipping company. And her mother was from a poor family herself. She was actually happy that she managed to get scholarship to a medical school. And she was just happy for that. So at least Benjamin didn't have to worry about not being accepted by Selena's family in the future. Benjamin and Selena made their relationship status official after about 6 months of dating. Both sides of families and friends were just happy for them, but most of all, Benjamin. Since he had never been in a formal relationship before this, he was just quite excited and still a bit nervous about this. He just didn't want to do any sort of mistakes to upset Selena or especially upset her family, because he was afraid her if he had hurt her feelings somehow, she would telling her family, and her parents would be quite upset about him and forcing him to break up his relationship with her and perhaps even make him to drop out of college or even apply for a different one. But when he mentioned this to Adam, he was like, dude, you don't have to be worrying. I don't think she would even be that crazy to, but I'm just worried about it that's gonna happen. Benjamin, don't worry. It's not like that's gonna happen. And how would you know? Well, let's say this just it just you know, um, gut feeling. Exactly. I hope so if you're right, but I really just don't want to make her upset about this. Don't worry, dude. It will be fine. I hope so. And the rest of the first and the second year of college, Benjamin actually provided a lot of things with his part-time job and Selena with her bakery job. During their second year of college, Benjamin was going to spend time with Selena, but when he was gonna meet up with one of the favorite spots when suddenly a group of guys around the same age actually stood near her and at least one of them asked her if she wanted to go out with him. It is apparently that she knew about that these guys knew about her boyfriend, but they were like, "Come on, you want to do? Why don't you want to go out with me? I'm better than that guy you're dating. He's a loser. He's a wimp." But Benjamin, Selena was actually firmly to say that she wouldn't even date him. She said like, "I wouldn't even date you if you were the last guy in the world. You're crazy. Why would I do that?" But suddenly, he grabbed her arm and said, "You will date me, no matter what you say." And then she started screaming, and Benjamin ran up to him and said, "Hey, back off. She's my girlfriend. If she said no, it is no." But this guy just looked at him and was like, "Dude, mind your own business. This is my girlfriend now." And Selena said, "No, I won't even date you, not no matter what you do." She tried, but then she managed to get out of his grip of her arm, and Benjamin stood in front of her, blocking her, and said, "Dude, how dare you to even mess around with someone else's girlfriend like that? How would you feel if I did the same to yours, if you had any?" His two friends who stood next to him tried to actually telling him to just not to. They didn't even want to have it. They were actually on his side, like they were on Benjamin's side. They didn't want to mess around with someone's relationship like this. In fact, they didn't. They were actually aware of this happening because Benjamin managed to telling this guy to just back off, and he just he just left. But his two friends stood remained there for a brief moment. They apologized and said that they they were they were aware of Benjamin being dating Selena, but they didn't had any idea what their friend was supposed to be doing. If they had known, they would even had supported this. They didn't want to break up someone else's relationship like it. So, but they tried to even because even Selena could actually confirm that this guy's two friends actually tried to stop him, but he didn't listen to them. And for what Benjamin later heard, that these two guys actually broke up their friendship with this guy. And he took that as offensive and even tried to fight with Benjamin to that he ruined his two friends to leave him. But Benjamin said calmly, "You were the one who caused it, not me." But this guy just blew up in his face like he was screaming, telling him, "How dare you to ruin my friendship? You should not pick your nose where it should not have been." Benjamin just stood there calmly and said, You did that as your own. You messed your own friendship. I didn't. Your friends were actually against it, trying to stop you from doing this." But this guy didn't even listen. But Benjamin stood firmly and calm the whole time. If everything he had done, he may have even been thrown out of college himself. Because when it happened, a teacher saw that all this event took place. He demanded to know what happening, and this guy pretended to be the victim instead that Benjamin tried to assault him or at least attack him or some way. But unfortunately, what he didn't know, the teacher saw the whole thing from start, so it was pointless. But this guy was given a warning, and from that day, this guy just stopped messing around with Benjamin, or he started to focus on his studying instead. Benjamin told this to Adam, and he's like, "Wow, that actually happened?" And yeah, it did. I'm just surprised that this guy was actually even had the nerve even to do that, said Adam. I'm surprised you even tried to attack him or anything. Well, I would, since that's not difficult for me, though. What do you mean by that? Said Adam. Well, it's because that I have a black belt in judo, said Benjamin, with a smile. Wait, you had black belt in judo? Yep. Turned out that Benjamin had been practicing judo since he was in middle school, and he had a black belt. And even though he do sometimes practice in judo, even at college, it's like Adam, like, well, you're the one guy you don't want to mess around with, even though you only do it for self-defense. But yikes, that's not you want to mess around with, said Adam with a big grin. And yeah, definitely. But at least I have one way to help to defend Selena if something would happen. That's true, said Adam. During their third year of college, Benjamin had plans of that he wanted to propose to Selena. They've been dating now for about 3 years, and he was ready to take the next step in their relationship. But he just didn't know exactly how to propose to her. He knew that there are many different ways how to do it, like take her for a picnic, to the movie, for a romantic dinner or something, but he just didn't know how. And he even had a ring yet. But he had managed to save up enough money for to do that. But there was just another small problem that he had to figure out. What kind of a ring that he would to buy for Selena as an engagement ring. There was only one person that he might be able to talk to, and that was Nicole. After all, Nicole and Selena had been childhood friends for a long time, and they were roommates. If there was anyone else who would know what type of things Selena would like, it would be Nicole. So one day when he went over to Selena's room, he knocked on the door and Nicole opened it, but she was alone. Selena was out somewhere to do some things, and he asked Nicole if they could talk. Uh, yeah, come in. So he went in, he sat down, and she asked him, "So, what can I do for you?" Um, well, said Benjamin a little bit nervously. You don't have to be nervous around me, Benjamin. I mean, we know each other well enough. I mean, 3 years. Yeah. Um, since you know Selena the most of all of everyone here at the school, well, there is one thing I wanted to ask you. Oh? Um, and then he explained about his plans. When Nicole heard this, she's like, "Oh my God, are you actually going to do it?" She was like, "I was hoping that you would do it to propose to Selena soon." Yeah, but I just don't know or where to do it or what type of range you would prefer. Ah, I can see your dilemma, said Nicole. Well, Nicole, Selena likes all type of jewelry, but when it comes to engagement rings, hmm, well, I mean, gold rings, silver rings, or diamond ring will work, but diamond rings is a little bit more expensive. Well, that's true, but how much do you have saved up though, if I may ask? Um, about 1200? Ah, 1200 might not be enough for even a diamond ring, to be honest. That you may have to save up at least maybe two and a half, 3,000. 3,000 for a diamond ring? Ah, give or take. Ah, I might just take a silver ring then. Yeah, you know, I think a silver ring might work, and if I suggest you have it engraved. Engraved? Yeah, like to my beloved Selena or something. Yeah, that might work, he said. And thanks, Nicole. Appreciate any help, any advice or any help. Well, anytime works, she said, smile. And good luck. Thanks. I really need it. After that, after that, Benjamin thought about how to propose to Selena. He decided to take her to a restaurant near in town for it. So after he left Nicole's room, he actually left college and went to a local jewelry store in town. He managed to find a ring for just about $1,100. And it didn't cost any extra for him to have it engraved. And he went back to his room afterwards. And when he was just laying on his bed holding in this small box, he heard the door open, but before he managed to hide the ring, Adam saw it like, hey, what is that? Ah, you got it. Um, then after Adam closed the door and Benjamin showed him the ring, like, are you going to propose to me? What? What? Adams was laughing like, "Don't worry, I know that you were even going to propose to me, but wow, dude, I didn't have any idea you were even ready for take the next step so soon." Well, I mean, me and Selena have been dating for 3 years, and I just I feel ready to do it. Well, are you sure though? I think you really are ready for this? Positive. But I just don't know where to take her as for a restaurant. I mean, I don't know if you were going to take her for an Italian, Mexican restaurant, or a Chinese restaurant, or I just don't know. If you ask me, I think Italian restaurant is the perfect option. Well, I might do that, and luckily though I don't have any work on my 3 years anniversary with Selena. So even with their 3 years anniversary was only about a month away, which gave Benjamin enough time to practice for his proposal to Selena, since he actually had picked to take her to this Italian restaurant in town. Even though he had to reserve a table in advance because that type of restaurant was quite popular in town. But he was at least happy that at least one part of the step had been taken care of. But he continued of his practice of his proposal to Selena over and over multiple times throughout the day, and he doesn't know exactly which type of way he had otherwise been doing. But even though when Adam did actually saw him practice all this, like he laughed like, dude, why are you practice for? Dude, I didn't need to practice this. Benjamin, why would you need to practice for this? I just want to make it perfect. But Adam laughed more and again said, you know, nothing always going according to plans, you know that? I know, said Benjamin while he sat down on his bed and like, you look a little bit gloomy. What's something wrong? No, I just wanted you know, my idea was gonna go well for me and Selena. I mean, I do see a future between me and her. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. You know, it's, yeah, I mean, it's amazing to see you two being so close. And be honest, Benjamin, I never even thought that you two would even be together so long. So, what do you mean? Like what? Are you jealous? Well, to be fair, I'm a little bit jealous that you have someone, but it just, I thought maybe your relationship with Selena would only last maybe, I don't know, 6 months or maybe a year or so. I mean, not to be saying that to be rude, it just sometimes relationships doesn't last long though. Benjamin just noticed that I completely understand that. I mean, Some of my friends were in a relationship. They were only in for about maybe a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months, but a few were together for about maybe a year or so. But I see what you mean. I just really my relationship with Selena being last forever. I mean, I had even go to ask Nicole for advice of what type of ring to get. Wait, you actually went to go to see Nicole? Why? Well, consider that she is Selena's childhood friend, and it's like I said, they had known each other for so long time, and who else is the best to ask if someone had known Selena for so long rather than from a complete stranger? Yeah, I can see your point, but at least that she had some has someone that and someone you could ask for help. I mean, if you had asked me, I wouldn't have known since, well, you know, yep, pretty much that. So Adam and Benjamin continued to talk about it until Adam brought the topic of playing games, which Benjamin was up for. Benjamin and Adam was actually happy to be playing games. But even while they were playing the games, Benjamin was still in deep thoughts about him and Selena, especially about his proposal to Selena. As the day went closer and closer to their 3 years anniversary, the more closer they get, the more nervous he would get as well. He was afraid that he would mess up with something, or if he would say something bad, or say it in a wrong way to make her scared and to break up their relationship or something, or make her laugh or to think he was a weakling. But that was not all the things. Sometimes even at night, he actually even had terrible nightmares. One nightmare scared him so badly that when he was asking her, when he went down on the knees, asking her if she wanted to marry, she suddenly started laughing, almost this evil type of cackle like laughter. So like, how I would never want to marry this such weakling like you. I mean, you work a part-time job and you're from a working class family. Who would I want to marry is such poor guy? And then just continue laughing, and the rest of the other people in the restaurants could actually did the same thing. They also start laughing and pointing him, and he felt so embarrassed, like he wanted to move, but he was like petrified. He like nearly woke up that when it happened. It's like he was cold sweat. Adams heard him just like almost screaming when he woke up like that and turned on the light and like, Benjamin, what's the matter? He said tightly. It's nothing. It's just a nightmare. You want to talk about it? It's nothing. Don't worry. And then just went back to sleep. But similar nightmares did repeat quite often. As it's getting closer to his third anniversary with Selena, the closer they get, the nightmares was even more intense. They were so more terrifying, and he wondered if he was going to be in a relationship with Selena. But when he did have this type of nightmare so frequent, Adam gets a little bit worried. And when he one afternoon when they went back to their dorm room, and he's like, Benjamin, we need to talk. Okay, about what? Your nightmares. These are so frequently recently. You had to tell me what's going on. What are those nightmares about? I mean, you hasn't even had this type of nightmares even before we start being roommates. It's only now recently that they have been so intense. Tell me. I Benjamin, now you had to tell me. I'm worried about you. This will affect your sleep eventually. And if that happens, it will affect your grades and you might even be kicked out of school. I'm worried about you. Then Benjamin broke it down. and he mentioned all the details what he's seen in his nightmares that he still remembers. I see, said Adam, and was quiet. That is completely understandable how you feel like it. But you had to realize, it's just nightmares. Yeah, but I mean, I can't even control my own dreams, for God's sake, said Benjamin almost. He was panicking. Benjamin, if you tell yourself, keep telling yourself that it will go well, it will be fine, nothing will go wrong, it will stop. So Benjamin tried to do that to himself. He said that to himself in his own head before going to sleep that night, and surprising enough, it worked. Ever since then, ever since that night, the nightmares were gone. They never returned. And after only about 2 days of that, he started to feel more confident, more, even though he was still nervous, but he felt more confident and more happier. And he thanked Adam for this advice, and he's like, don't worry, I know what you meant. And it's actually, you know, I'm just happy to be your friend, and I'll also be there to help you with this. He nodded and said, thanks. When the third year anniversary did arrive, Benjamin took Selena to this Italian restaurant, and she was wearing this white dress, and he was wearing this almost like a tuxedo or some kind of outfit. He was just having a good time, and he was just happy about it. Even though not this, he was decided to propose to her when they were having their dessert. They had lasagna as for dinner, as for the food. He decided to let her choose for what is gonna have for this dessert, and she picked chocolate cake. When doing this, he felt not ready to do it, and he just stood up from his chair and just walked up to her and went on his knees and said, Selena, we have known each other for 3 years, and I know you're the one that I want to spend my life with. I just wanted to ask, will you marry me? Selena put her hands on her face, and she was blushing and almost crying, and said that she would like to marry him. She said, yes, I want to marry you. She was actually happy. And even the rest of the other people in the restaurant, among the staff and other guests, actually cheering, applauding for him for this amazing moment. When they went back to college, Adam was still up and playing on his phone when Benjamin walked in, and it's like, so, how did it go? Benjamin looked a bit sad and, what? She said no. But then Benjamin just started laughing like, God, you're so good at that. But I think she said yes. Yeah, she did. Even at the same moment back in Nicole and Selena's room, they were talking about laughing and giggling all that they were both excited about this. Even only about the next couple of days later, both sides of families had been informed about this engagement. And when Benjamin called his family, his youngest sister answered and like, "Oh hey Benjamin, is something wrong?" Because she could hear that Benjamin was very cheerful for usually when he calls. Um, well, is mom and dad home? Uh, yeah. Why? I have some news for all of you. Um, Yeah, well, we are in the living room watching some TV right now, but what is are you on the speaker? Uh no, but give me a second. And then she did put on the speaker. So, do you want to tell us something? Yeah. Um Me and Selena are engaged. I proposed to her only a few days ago. It was silent for a moment, and for some reason, the silence broke when Michaela, like, are you kidding me? Right now? Congratulations, brother. I mean, it was about time you were going to do it. And even his mom was crying, but she was happy to hear that Benjamin took the next step in his relationship with Selena. Even his dad was actually happy to hear that Benjamin took the next step and like, I'm so proud of you, Benjamin. So, when is the wedding? Dad, we just got engaged and, well, I think maybe sometimes after we finish college, perhaps. I mean, we want you to focus on college right now and, studies, exams, all that. Yeah, I hear you. But we're so proud and happy for you. Thanks. And even when Selena had called her family, her parents and her older sister Sarah, who was about 20, who were up at the time 27, was actually happy to hear about this engagement. And they were just happy about it. Both Selena and Benjamin couldn't have been happier for this so much support they had from the both families. As time went on, Benjamin, Selena, Adam, and Nicole were quite happy so that they were now in their senior year of college. They were just happy soon to be finished and to take the next step in their lives as adults. But this was not only marked as their last year of college, but also to be as the 4 years of Benjamin and Selena's relationship. Benjamin had decided to take out Selena to a French restaurant to celebrate their 4-year anniversary, and also not to mark, also to celebrate the 1 year anniversary as being engaged. Ever since then, Selena had been more happier now that she was engaged with her dream soulmate. Benjamin took Selena to the French restaurant, just having a great time. He had saved up enough money from his part-time job, so he was able to do this. She was actually happy to hear that. So Selena and Benjamin had such great time at the French restaurant, just having a great time having good food, laughing, talking, and just talking about general stuff. Even afterwards, then when they left the restaurant, they decided to take a short time of walking around before going back to college. But when they passed through the park, about halfway through, this older guy just stepped out in front of them from behind some bushes and demanded their wallets and any other values they had. And in fact, he was holding a knife. Selena was so scared she couldn't even move. But Benjamin moved in front of her and said to this guy, just back off before he would get hurt. But this guy started laughing and laughing like a maniac, and screamed, I don't care what you can do. Give me your mullet. Give me your money. All you got. All of it. Right now. Or I will stab your little girlfriend here. But Benjamin tried to say firmly and said once more just to back off and leave before anything else happened. But this was the wrong answer, apparently, to give to this guy. And he said once more again that demanded their wallets, and any other values that he had on him. But Benjamin said calmly, once again, but firmly, no. But this time, the guy lost it, and he just ran up to Adam, and Benjamin stabbed him 5 times in the stomach and just took off before even anything else. And Benjamin just collapsed to the ground on his back, and Selena saw it happen, and when she saw this guy stab her fiance 5 times, she panicked and freaked out. She bent all over on her knees above, down to Benjamin, told him to hold on, to hold out. She grabbed her phone and called for help, and she even told him to hold on. But as he was stabbed 5 times in his abdomen, in his stomach, he started bleeding out, and since there was nothing else to keep the blood from stopping, he he was gasping for air, and he told her, "Don't worry, he will always be with her." But before she could say anything else, he was unconscious. But luckily, though, an ambulance arrived just in time and brought him back to the hospital. She was brought along with them, and even later at the hospital, the police asked her if she could describe this man for what to do it. This guy was apparently in his early to late 30s, um, tall, maybe around 6 feet, black hair, and twitching. So there was apparently a drug addict who was looking for any money to get his next fix or his next score of drugs. And Selena was sitting on the bench in the waiting room. She called for Adam and Nicole, and they were both terrified when she informed them what had happened. They rushed to the hospital as soon as possible, and they said, "What happened?" But when they saw her, she was crying as she had never been like this terrified. There were even blood on her own white dress that she wore for their restaurant. "How is Benjamin? How is he?" I don't know," said Selena, crying. She was so distraught of this shock. "Have you told his family about this?" asked Nicole, but she shook her head. "No, I can do it," said Adam. Since he had Benjamin's one of his family members on his number on his phone and gave Michaela the call. "Hello, Michaela. This is Adam, your brother's roommate. Hey, Adam. So what's up? Are you sitting down? Are your parents home?" "Yeah, we are actually having dinner right now. So what's up?" "Okay. I had some terrible news, and when he mentioned what happened, there was a lot of crying and screaming in it from the background of the phone, and apparently even when suddenly Benjamin's dad picked up the phone and said, 'Adam, what happened?' I don't know exactly what happened. Selena told us that me and Nicole, her friend, um, that Selena, her, and Benjamin were in the park just walking back to the college after the date. Um, this older guy demanded their wallets and any other values, and he stabbed Benjamin in the stomach 5 times, and now he's apparently in the surgery when we have no other updates." "With what?" "It's okay. I we haven't been informed." "All right, we will be there as soon as possible ourselves," said Benjamin's dad, and hang up the phone. It didn't take long for until they were just sitting in the waiting room, hours after hour, hoping for any further update from any of the medical staff from about Benjamin's condition. It wasn't until the next day when Benjamin's family showed up and they gave Selena a hug and told her to be this build. It will be fine. That Benjamin is strong. He's a good fighter. He will not do anything else to lose his life. They just only had to pray. It wasn't until like early noon when the doctor informed them that Benjamin was now out of surgery, but his condition was very critical. That now he might have to be waiting for the next 24 hours, and that he was unconscious at the time. So they decided to leave. Benjamin's family took in from a hotel in the town to just wait out to see what happened. But Selena, she was devastated. She couldn't even barely get any sleep that day, or she couldn't barely eat anything. She was heartbroken. She was going to lose her fiance, but Adam and Nicole told her that's not going to happen. That in fact, Benjamin is a strong fighter. He will make it. It wasn't until like the next day when they actually got the news from the hospital about Benjamin's condition. The hospital called Benjamin's family to inform them that Benjamin had woken up and that he was making a full recovery, but due to the fact of his injuries that he had to stay behind at the hospital for quite a while, and they were just happy to hear that he made it. And they later was informed by the police that they found the guy who did it. By thanks to the description from Selena, they managed to find him, and now he was arrested and was straight went back to jail. But this was apparently not the first time this guy had done something like this, and they were right. And during the robbery attempt, or when he still stabbed Benjamin, he was high on certain drug. They didn't reveal exactly which one, but apparently he was quite high at the time. So, and Benjamin was just happy to pull through. When he saw Selena in the room, I'm just glad that I make it. I thought I was gonna lose you, she said, but crying. But they were just happy to know she made it. After several weeks in the hospital, Benjamin was allowed to leave, and he went back to classes as normal, but he was just cautious around things. Even though that Benjamin had missed out a lot of classes, but he would quickly to catch up on most of the studies, and he and Selena, Adam, and Nicole later finished college as planned, as a plan for it. Then were another step that Selena had asked Benjamin where they want to live. They decided to move to Arizona, where Benjamin was from. So they did. Shortly afterwards, they had their small wedding. They decided to have a close wedding with some close friends and family. Benjamin had asked Adam to be his best man, and Nicole to be Selena's maid of honor. They just had a good time, and Selena and Benjamin celebrated their honeymoon on Hawaii as a thanks from both her parents. And about 3 years later, they expected their first child. They were just happy to inform this to their families, and they were just overjoyed. They had a son which they named John. And about 3 years later, they had a daughter which they named Amy. Selena and Benjamin was just happy to have found their true love. Even so, Benjamin himself was just happy to have survived after what happened to him. And even Selena herself was just happy that Benjamin in fact did survive after being stabbed 5 times in the stomach. She was so afraid that she would lose him. And she had no idea what she would have done if she did have lost him. But she was just happy that he made it. And even Benjamin himself was actually happy that he did make it. But otherwise, it could have been quite more serious that he could lose his life. But being married now with the one he loved the most of all in the whole world, and even have a family with her, it was something more than he ever could have wished for. Even Selena had hopes for this. Even afterwards, when they got married, Selena pursued her dream to be a baker, and she started working at the local bakery in the hometown of where that Benjamin was from. And Benjamin started working as a mechanic that he wanted to do, and they were just happy about it. happy to fulfill their dreams and found the one they want to be with. This is how Selena and Benjamin found that their true love got a big family together. The end.